Hi, this is Alan Schimmel, DevOps.com, here at DevOps Enterprise Summit with Kevina and J. Paul Reed, who I've met before. And they are just coming out off the floor for their session.
Hot off the stage.
Hot off the stage. On blameless postmortems, which is part of the no finger pointing in DevOps, right?
Yeah.
Kevina, J. Paul, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about your session?
Well, we were looking at the work that Kevin and I have been doing together at Salesforce on actionable retrospectives and how you roll those out to an organization in a healthy way. You were talking about the no finger pointing of DevOps. It's really a cultural aspect and a cultural shift. But in a big complex, and Kevin knows this and has had to work around this in a big complex organization, you can't just talk about it. There's some kind of structural things that you have to put in place, and it's a bit of a longer process. So we were just walking through what that journey was like for us, and how I harassed Kevin all the time to up the game on the retrospectives.
Yep. We really took it from the approach of you can have all the knowledge, but if it's not presented the right way and you're not behaving the right way and you're not speaking the right way, that information is going to fall on deaf ears. And so part of what we really focused on was what we were seeing in the meetings, really listening, really paying attention, and really trying to figure out how do we make this work? How do we make this better? How do we learn as an organization to get better at what we do every day?
And these were all, very, a lot of the meetings were very high stakes. They were real production impacting incidents that we were discussing with the teams and getting their feedback on. And it's been great to work with the teams. We were talking about our experiences with the database team in particular on the work that they've done. And it's always fun to be on the journey with the teams, watching them grow and having a better experience. We actually talked about this in our talk about how we were doing minor little tweaks to some of the larger more high stakes meetings where there were executives in the room asking what was happening. We made some minor tweaks, ran some experiments, and we amplified the good results, and we sort of threw away the results that weren't great. And so we had people coming up to us saying that meeting felt better. And it was shorter, right? And these are 2-hour meetings over lunch. So whenever you give someone a little bit of their lunch hour back there,
they were really
let's do more of that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Very cool. And so this is the second day of DevOps Enterprise Summit 2015. What has been your impressions to date?
I think DevOps, the community as a whole, has grown. I remember hearing about DevOps when they first were saying, "Oh, DevOps." And it was in its infancy, and now it's kind of taking on a life of its own. It's in its adolescence. It's really growing. It's really incorporating a lot of different perspectives into its toolkit. I think a lot of people originally tried to fit it into this box, and it's really not about fitting things into a box or into a silo. It's about using feedback loops and talking to each other and communicating to make things work better, run better. And I think I've seen a lot more of those conversations than I have in the past.
I went to DevOps Enterprise Summit last year.
Yes.
And I am just sort of amazed. I love that Target has come back and continued telling their story. I know Kevin has said, I want a dojo. I want a dojo like Target has. So that's fun. But all of, you see ING and Ticketmaster and the federal government, people coming here and talking about that. You want to talk about enterprises like the federal government. Pretty big enterprise.
Pretty big. They're pretty big.
Yeah, and so it's just great to see new people being brought into the fold in a sort of an enterprise context. That was one of the big pushbacks where people are like, if you go to a DevOps Days, and those are great events, I love them, but they're like, I'm having trouble figuring out how to apply it because the language is a little different. People ask questions about, a lot of times here it's about how does this fit into my larger system? What executive buy-in do I need? All that stuff. It's very important to address that. I think this conference does a great job of that precisely because the people that are here are that's front of mind for them. And we got a question about executive buy-in actually right at the end. Yep. So we were able to talk. We were able to speak to that, which was great.
Yep. I think that part of what we're also seeing is that we're able to show results.
Yeah.
As a whole, the initial group of people that jumped on to DevOps now we're being able to show results. Now we're being able to show, yes, this does have an impact. Yes, it does make a difference. And it really is focused on what is the best business outcome that we can get to.
It's not just DevOps for the sake of DevOps.
Yes.
It's DevOps because science and numbers. And
Yeah.
Nicole Frosgren, who's done a lot of that,
Nicole's,
she's
Yeah.
great.
good with science.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's my hero.
she has a number to explain away all of
Yeah.
the goodness that we're seeing, and it's great when you get her going talking about that stuff. She can just point to all these great statistics.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thanks very much for joining with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Short interview.
You're welcome.
Thank you for contributing to DevOps Enterprise Summit. And on behalf of IT Revolution, Electric Cloud, and DevOps.com, much continued success going
Great.
forward to
Thank
both of you.
Thank you.
This is Alan Schimmel of DevOps.com.